So hey besties, today we are going to make us a crumb cake using yellow cake mix, and we're just using a regular yellow cake mix that we got from the store. Now, anybody who knows me knows when it comes to cooking, I could throw down in the kitchen. When it comes to baking, that is a whole nother world outside of my universe that I know nothing about. And when it comes to baking, I believe like baking is like a science. You got to have everything down to the T, everything. And y'all know I don't measure nothing. I just feel it. So when it comes to the baking world, I'll be lost, y'all, or I'm just gonna have to do it out the box. So that's what we finna do today. So now we're gonna go ahead and get us our yellow cake mix, and we're gonna follow the instructions per the box. We're gonna go ahead and put our cake mix in there. I went on ahead and melted some butter. I added that in there. I added me some eggs, and then I went on in there with my cream. Now I don't use water and I don't use milk when I do a cake, but if you guys stay with me to the end of this videos, I'm gonna let y'all know when I'm baking a cake. So now that we got our cake all mixed up, because you're going to go ahead and mix that up real nice, we're going to start working on the crumble part. And for the crumble part, I'm just going to get me a pan. I'm going to add me some graham crackers to it. Now you can get the regular graham crackers and break them up, or you can also get them already in crumbs. They do make them already in crumbs. So I went on ahead, added that to the pan. I'm going to go ahead and add me in some vanilla. After I add in the vanilla, I'm going to go ahead and add me in some ground nutmeg. And once you get that in there, then you are going to go ahead and add you in some more melted butter. Okay, you want to use just enough to make it crumble, but not enough where you're making it wet and soggy. So we're going to go ahead and add in our melted butter, and then we're just going to go ahead and start mixing it up. Mix it. And then my daughter was in the kitchen with me. When it comes to me being in the kitchen, my children love to come in the kitchen and help me, y'all. So when they decide they want to come, I always let them come. After we get our graham cracker crumbs crumbled up and mixed together, we're going to go ahead and get us a pan. I like to butter my pan down. I'm used to doing things the old-fashioned way, where you go ahead, get you some butter, and you are buttering that pan down. I don't be using none of that spray and none of that. I know it's probably good and all that, but I just like to do it like this because it gets the job done. So we're going to go ahead and pour in about half of our cake batter into our cake pan, and you're just going to go ahead and turn it to the side and make sure everything is nice and even. You're going to go ahead and move it around, or you can use a spoon. Just spread it out. Make sure everything gets nice and even on your pan. After you get everything nice and even, you're at the halfway mark. Your cake is spread out. We are going to go ahead and start adding that graham cracker crumble that we made right on top of the cake. You're going to make sure you add it to the whole entire layer. Now you can make this part as thick or as thin as you like. I'm going to do mine like in between, not too thin, not too thick. Now remember, this is my first time ever doing this, so we're kind of just feeling it out, seeing what feels right, and trying to see how this is going to go. So after you've gotten your graham cracker crumble on top, we're going to go ahead and cover that with the remaining cake mix that we have left. And you want to make sure that you get an even coat on top of it. You want to make sure that all those graham cracker crumbs get covered. So after you've gotten your second half of your cake mix on top, you're going to go ahead and add the remaining graham cracker crumbs on top of the top part of the cake. Once you get that on top of the cake, you are all set to put your cake into the oven, y'all. So I went on ahead and followed the box instructions and started to preheat my oven, and it told me to put my oven on 375, and that's what I did. So we are going to go ahead and continue to cover the top of that. Once we get to that top cover, we can go ahead and put it in the oven. I do recommend that once you put it in the oven, that you put something underneath your pan that you are baking your cake in, because your cake is going to rise as it cooks, and you do not want to have a cleanup job in your oven. So if you are using a small pan like this, put something underneath it once it goes in the oven. Now that my cake is done, this is what it looks like. And then I tried to make me some of that icing that I be seeing them do on the TV, but it didn't come out quite the way I wanted it to, but it did come out good. Now this is my first time making icing, so what I was told you were supposed to do was just get you some powdered sugar, a little bit of milk, and a little bit of vanilla, and that was icing right there. I was trying to get that little drizzle effect and spread it on there. Now my icing did come out good because I tasted it. It just didn't have that really thick icing, that white coat of icing that you would see on top of a cake. So that was the only part that I was a little bit disappointed about, but it definitely did taste good. It had good flavor, and when I went to go ahead and taste the cake, I can taste the icing on it. It just wasn't visual where you can see it. So now this is how my cake came out, and the kids absolutely loved it. I was so excited. It's so easy. It's something you can do with your family, and I hope you guys try this out. Now, this is what I use when I'm baking my cakes. I don't use water. I don't use milk. I use coffee cream, and being that we was making a coffee cake, I use coffee cake creamer. Now, if you guys are loving these videos, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you give me a like. Drop me a comment in the comment section and share this video out. Bye, besties.